and I'm going back to an earlier version of the poem, which goes as follows. I mean, it's similar in many ways to what followed afterwards, apart from a number of particular words. And I won't read the whole poem again, but in the second verse, he says in this
Which monster is it?
In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the German forged links I hear. Okay, that sounds rather incongruous, the word German there. And then until you realise that what he was talking about was, and I had to quote from this book here. The second stanza of London reflects the repressive atmosphere following the royal proclamation of the 21st of May 1792, banning any form of seditious activity, including the publication of prints. The German forged links are closely related. Throughout August and September 1792, the interests of the British monarchy were being served by the joint manifesto of their Majesties and Emperor of Germany and King of Prussia, published and referred to throughout the British press. The manifesto commanded the Duke of Brunswick to march on France and restore the power and authority of the French monarchy, as the press recounted daily, which precipitated the massacres in Paris during August and September 1792, and immediately following, widespread loyalist reaction in Britain. So that explains why the word German appears in the poem there. But he didn't like that.
He didn't like it. The English never liked the Germans.
He didn't like that. So
but they're ruled by Germans. I mean, the Queen is German.
Well, we don't know about that yet.
The Queen is German.
Yes.
Are you from Germany? Who in Deutschland? He has German blood.
Okay.
Anyway, so he took out...
I have galactic blood.
That's interesting.
And he put in instead, you know, and he suddenly changed it completely and said, and put in the line, the mind-forged manacles. The mind-forged manacles instead of the German-forged links.
He changed it.
So he turned that into a phrase which means manacles are the things that, you know, you put on prisoners to, like handcuffs, really, manacles. And he talked mind-forged manacles. In other words, the way in which you were captured or oppressed by the mind. Those manacles were forged by the mind. So he made it into something much more general and much more powerful, I think.
Yeah, but do you think he did that because he might be accused of treason? You know, because people like his friends were put in jail at that time.
Yes, exactly.
For criticizing
and not only that, but
the German king. He was from Hungary.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but he says that the new stanza may be specific to Blake's immediate surroundings in Lambeth. The Westminster New Lying-In Hospital and Asylum for Orphan Girls were both close to Blake.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
The rules and regulations they published were exclusive and unbending. For the asylum, rule number 3, no Negro or mulatto child can be admitted. Item 4, no diseased, deformed or infirm child can be admitted. Unwed pregnant women from the city and Westminster crossed Westminster Bridge to seek refuge in the Westminster New Lying-In Hospital. Presenting themselves, they were informed that no patient shall be admitted without a letter of recommendation. If found not clean in person and apparel and free from any infectious disorder, they were turned back into the road that Blake travelled.
You need a mic.
Yeah, a bit louder, guy. You know what? So that's so this
No, this
asylum.
is, I actually quite.
It's interesting. Very interesting because so those things are also true today, isn't it? Like you have in France, they're moving out all these people, the gypsies, you know, in Spain. I mean, it's horrible. All the world would think Blake is over now, but actually it's come back. All this repression. I mean, all these countries with crazy, you know, fortress mentality. And
well, the last change I want to mention that he made before the final poem. You remember that the early first verse goes, "I wander through each dirty street, near where the dirty Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet." Mark means notice or record. And mark in every face I meet signs of weakness, signs of woe. He took out the word dirty, obviously because he thought, well, that's just a descriptive word, rather obvious to anybody, and it substituted for the word dirty the word chartered.
what's the word?
Chartered.
Chartered.
I wander through each charter street,
It's
near
license.
where the Thames, the chartered Thames does flow.
That's license. That's
Yes.
under a law. So
That's right.
I suppose at that time you cannot just have a boat on the Thames.
No, that's
Even
right.
it's still the same. It's a chartered river. This is, I mean, it's the royal, Westminster is a royal chartered city. So it's the Barbican.
Oh, it means it has a charter, a written charter, whatever that is. I mean, well, it's just a legal.
Well, the first charter in English is the Magna Carta. That's a charter. The big charter saying that you have a right to speech or something. Yeah, the Great Charter. So you have that right, you know that. But England doesn't have a constitution. America has. You know, I don't know what other countries.
Well, it had one, I think.
The
Well, it got like all undermined and kind of break. Yeah, they did it at the moment.
Yeah, well,
so we'll cut and cut, guy.
that's cut and cut.
It's
Yeah.
intending to still have a constitution.
Well, we were talking with the young people who were involved in that. They're in Norwich performing today, which is crazy. I said, and it's to do with really